Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of Vigilante Vibes, where we talk all things Marvel, along with some other fandoms, but without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I am joined by the lovely Amy Piero.
Hi.
I'm so excited you're here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I am a 26-year-old mom. I've always loved telling stories, and I've written a screenplay that I'm doing my best to try to get out there and hopefully get to Marvel.
Writing a screenplay, that's so impressive. That's so cool. I do not have that talent, so I am so jealous. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So, my screenplay is called The Winter Soldier Silent Night. I've written it to be a Marvel Studios special presentation, kind of like Werewolf by Night or the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So it's a shorter thing. It's not like the full-time commitment as like a full-length film or a six-episode series, but it's not as short as one of those one-shots either. I think there's little happy medium in between, and that's where those special presentations are. And yeah, so that's what it is. A little more about like the deeper stuff, I guess. So I
I know
this is so
it's
awkward. I'm so
no, no,
sorry.
no. Honestly, the first time anyone's on a podcast, they kind of, they get the giggles. They don't know what to say. They kind of feel themselves rambling. Totally normal. I do it every single day. And I've been doing this for 2 years. You are totally fine.
Well, okay, thanks.
Hmm.
Okay, geez. Okay, so a little more about my screenplay specifically. It's called The Winter Soldier Silent Night, and it delves into Bucky's time as when he was under Hydra's control. So basically he wakes up. It's 1989, and the Romanian Revolution, which is a real event, by the way. I should preface by saying that the Romanian Revolution was a real event in world history, and I'm just putting a fictional story on top of it. But anyway, so Bucky and his handler are sent to Romania to perform some assassinations. And he gets there, and it's the first Christmas that the Romanian people have been able to celebrate because they've been under communist control. So things don't go according to plan. And there end up being some things that are triggers for Bucky, and he starts to remember his past life as Bucky Barnes.
Wow, I like that. I'm a, I'm a huge Bucky fan, so this is right up my alley. What made you want to write about Bucky?
So, I mean, I've been a fan of Bucky's for a while, and I got the idea because I was walking around my neighborhood, and people leave up their Christmas lights all year round, right? And I I'm not a big Christmas person actually. Um,
What?
I know I'm weird, but. I thought, Bucky would probably be super annoyed with like the over commercialization of today's Christmas. He'd be like, "Oh, take it back to like the Great Depression when, like we were just together and,
Yeah.
and so I kind of thought, well, like, what would Bucky be like if he was in like a Christmas situation? And so I just kind of thought more about that, and eventually the story kind of came to me, and I ended up writing the whole first draft for it in one night. I was really, really excited, and I'm like, okay. The kids are asleep. I'm getting this done, and so I went for it.
That's really exciting. I like that a lot. I think Bucky, his time as a Winter Soldier is something that the MCU went way too fast on. I wanted more. So I love this. It's It's different. I like it. And it could be Marvel's like their Christmas thing that year, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's definitely got like a lot of potential to be that. And like, I'm a fan, so I do things like go on TikTok and Reddit and all that fun stuff. And like I've known for years that's something people want to see is more Bucky's time as when he was with Hydra. And so, I wrote that story and I was really proud of it. And I'll like okay, I get kind of emotional about this, so hang on. But the the day after I finished that first draft for my screenplay, um, I shared it with my husband. I'm like, "Hey, take a look at this. I think it's pretty cool." And he and I talked about it, and whatever. And my husband went to a Bible study that night, and of the things in the Bible and all of the things that all of the people who could have been talking about it. That night, they had a video of a Romanian pastor who was persecuted under communism in Romania during the Romanian Revolution. I'm like, that is so wild. Like, and
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's a freaky coincidence or what, but I I never would have been here talking with you today if it weren't for that. I mean, the my screenplay would have been sitting on my hard drive, not doing anything. But I kind of took it as a sign, like, hey, like maybe do something with this. So that's what I'm doing.
It certainly seems like that's a pretty big sign because of all the times I've been to church. That has never come up ever, ever in my
Right.
many years of life. That is crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Like my husband came home and he's like, "You are not going to believe what we talked about." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "The Romanian Revolution." I'm like, "No."
That is so crazy. I like how excited your husband is about this. That's really cute.
He was excited at the beginning.
Now he's kind of like,
Now
okay, we're
he's
there.
like,
We're done.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited about this, honey. Like, can you chill out a little bit, though?"
Ah, my husband would be the same way. I get that. So, is this your first screenplay you've ever written?
No, I've written a couple others. I I've written a lot of short things because I'm Gen Z, really. Um, I I don't know. I just think there's something about short films that really calls to me. I Of course I like long movies too. Like Endgame was great. It's a long movie.
That's a long movie.
But I really like short films too, and I think there's something really cool about having a story that like you can fit into like 5 minutes. The Winter Soldier Silent Night is not 5 minutes long. But like, there's something really cool about that. And I've written a couple things like that. I've written this one called Granddad Bob, which is it talks about this guy. He helped these people, and then decades after, um, it was like their grandkids who end up helping him in the hospital. And I mean, that's like a really sweet little story. And then I've written a pilot episode for a show called Smoothie Crew, which I don't know, I think it's fun. It's kind of like The Office or Parks and Rec, but in like a smoothie shop.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
and
I'm a huge
and
fan of those
there's
shows.
right, and there's
Yeah.
more characters like Stanley and April Ludgate. And I really like them.
Dude, how can you not like April Ludgate? She's such a queen.
She's great.
She is. That's really exciting. So you have this huge talent for writing these like usually when people are writers, they write like kind of like the same thing, the same topics, the same themes, but yours are also wildly different. I really love that.
Well, thanks. I don't know. Sometimes I get weird ideas. Like I'm I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but like I'm probably ADHD because yeah, my brain's just always all over the place.
As someone who is diagnosed ADHD, I get it. 100%. So, speaking back on Bucky, has Bucky always been a favorite of yours?
Yes. So ever since I saw him in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was like really big fan. Because I'm not super into like just action movies. Like there's got to be a comedy element in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like when Bucky is sitting down with his therapist and
Yes.
he's like, you're pulling out the clipboard again. Like, what is this? I was hooked, man. I'll tell you what. I sat down. I watched the entire series in one night. Okay, you're probably noticing a theme here with me. I'm like, if I get really into something,
You do not
bam,
sleep.
like that
Sleep
whole
does
night
not
is gone.
exist.
I'm not sleeping. Right. Right. So but yeah, I mean, since then, I've really liked Bucky as a character. I mean, he's got such a tragic like story, and then he can still go out and do superhero-ish things, and I think that's really cool.
And he's so sexy. My lord have mercy. So hot. You
Okay,
cannot
calm
you
down.
cannot deny his good looks. Like it's just not. I'm sorry. We all have our preferences, but that's just not possible.
I mean, yeah, he's an attractive
There it is.
man,
I knew it.
but
Well, are you gonna watch him in Thunderbolts coming up this year?
absolutely.
There you
Like,
go.
I can't wait for Thunderbolts. You have no idea how excited I am. Um, but I'm also really excited to see like Yelena's story. Like,
Yes.
we haven't seen her since Hawkeye, I think, right? And I can't wait. She's so cool. Like, I started putting hot sauce on my mac and cheese because of Yelena, and she was right. It's great.
That is so gross. I cannot. I love her so much, but that was the one thing I could not rock with. I was like, girl, I guess we all have to have a flaw, and I guess that's yours. But I love Yelena. I'm so excited to see where she goes. Florence Pugh has said that she's going to be a completely different character because of things she's gone through in life. So I'm very interested to see where they go with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's really exciting. I hope Marvel does this because I would love to see this. Ah,
I mean,
so
I would love it too.
oh yeah. So what other are there any other characters you want to write a screenplay for?
Let me tell you. Um, I right now I'm in the process. I'm looking at my wall because I have different I'll just turn around.
Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
different like things like little notes on those are different scenes that I've written for a Gwenpool 6 episode series. I'm
Oh,
working on it. And
yes,
again,
that's what
like
we
I'm
need.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't it so cool?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not employed by Marvel. I'm just a screenwriter here. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the IP and it's something I'm passionate about. So, like, I feel like I don't have anything to lose by,
Yeah.
trying to put it out there. But yes, so I'm writing a Gwenpool 6 episode series. Basically, she's like us. She's a fan, and then she gets sucked into the MCU, and she. I'm not going to spoil it, just in case Marvel
I
ever
get that.
does call me.
Yeah, right? That's all they'll do. They'll hear it and then they'll say, "Ooh, that's a pretty good idea she has there."
I've got lots of
Yeah.
ideas.
So, yeah. But I think that's such a good thing because these things should be written by fans, not people who don't know the characters, don't know anything about them, which has happened before. So I 100% support a Gwenpool 6 series miniseries. That's amazing. That's perfect. That's what I need.
We're more excited about this than the Winter Soldier Silent Night. Like,
I am excited about it all. I want all of it. I'll take whatever you have. Even, what was it, Grandpa Bob? Is that what you said?
Granddad Bob.
Granddad Bob. Sorry, yeah. I'll take that too. I do
That's
not
the
care.
first one I ever wrote. Like, I'll send it your way if you really want me to. But they say the first one you've ever written is not that great. And I went back to it a couple weeks ago and it was like, yeah, no, this is interesting.
So, have you,
But yes.
do you have a big background in the comics? Like, are you a big reader? Oh, so
I put
yes.
I put my comics like right there so I could have the ones that were really important when I wrote. But yeah, so Ed Brubaker, man, like with this Captain America series of comics, spot on. I loved it. I loved what they did with Bucky's character. And then also this comic, like the
Hmm.
Captain America and Bucky made me cry, man.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I've had enough of Bucky's like sadness. I I'm a little emotional with my characters sometimes,
I
but
I think you should
don't
be
don't even
though.
get me started on Spider-Man. Oh my goodness.
I
I
love
feel a lot of
Spider-Man.
things
I
with
love him so
Spider-Man.
much. I would die for
I
that little
know.
man. I would die for him.
Yes, Peter Parker. Oh my gosh. Like the poor guy, like the MCU version, like he's got to have so much PTSD and
Yeah.
like anxiety and depression, but there's still something in him that gets him out of that twin bed in the morning. And I have so much respect for that. Like
Yeah.
as a person who has struggled with depression, and there are days where I don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and that's not. I mean, it probably is something that Peter struggles with from time to time, but he still gets up. He still is Spider-Man, and yes, he's a fictional character, but I don't know. I can relate to that, and yeah, it's something I'm passionate about.
That's a good thing to be passionate about. Spider-Man is the man. He's the most
He's the
relatable.
man.
Yeah, he's the most relatable. He's the one we all want to be at the end of the day. The one that does what he can for other people, people that maybe some don't deserve it, maybe some do, but it doesn't matter to him because he's doing the right thing. And I think we should all take a little something from that.
Exactly. Yeah,
See, you get it. So,
I get it, man.
have you always been a big Marvel fan?
I have not actually. So this is kind of a fun story. Um, I watched Civil War in high school on like a school trip, and I had no idea what was going on.
It's a lot.
Like my family, we lived in the middle of a cornfield basically growing up. And my parents weren't fans of the comics or anything, so I had no idea what was going on. And then later, when I met my husband, he had this list of movies he wanted me to watch before I married him.
Oh,
And and the Marvel movies were on there. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like I don't want to watch all these movies. There's a lot of movies." And so one day we went on a date to see Spider-Man Homecoming. And I watched that and I fell in love with
oh.
Marvel. And now I watch the movies on a regular basis and I read the comics and I'm writing screenplays. So, yeah, thanks to my husband, I guess.
Oh, that's so nice. I got my husband into him too. That's really funny. Of course, it was Spider-Man: No Way Home. That was it. Homecoming or No Way Home?
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
Yes.
Of course. That's such a charming movie, and Tom Holland just kills it. He is my favorite Spider-Man. He's fantastic, and I'm so excited for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, like their possibilities are endless, and he says he really likes it, so it could be
That's
really
great.
anything. So,
Yeah.
that's sorry, that's my daughter. She's screaming.
I made my kids leave, though.
My husband is supposed to be home watching them, but a job went a little longer than planned, so I just gave him dinner. I was like, just eat it, watch the dancing fruit on TV. I'll be back. And
That's what Coco Melon was invented for, right?
yeah, but one of them hates Coco Melon, the other one loves it, and it's just like
Oh
I can't.
man.
You have one kid,
I have two.
two? Oh, so you get it. Oh,
Yes.
Jesus
I get
Christ, that's awful.
it.
Good Lord, have mercy. But they're
Yes.
so cute.
They are cute.
They, so, are your kids Marvel fans?
My daughter is, she's 5. My son is little less than 2, so he doesn't really care. But my daughter, I mean, she knows most of the characters. She's got this little A through Z Marvel book, and so she
No.
practices writing their names out, which is super adorable. But yeah, and she was a big fan of the Spidey and His Amazing Friends
Yes,
series. Oh, it's really cute. I really like that one.
we do too. My kids are about the same age, and she can look forward to Iron Man and his amazing friends coming out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I
They're,
did not know that was a thing,
yeah, I
so
think
now
it's
I'm
coming out
excited.
sometime this year, I think. So I'm really excited because it's like we've
All
burned through
right.
every episode of Spidey and his amazing friend. We've seen it all, my lord.
Yes.
So that's so cute. I love nerds raising other nerds. It's like it's setting us all up for a good future.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
no,
oh,
you go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, 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 you go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
No, you go
You go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, fine.
You.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It's actually your turn to go now, so I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
my turn. Okay. Um, well, I was telling my daughter the other day, I'm like, gee, like, I hope I'm not too weird on when I'm doing something. And she goes, Mom, you say it all the time. We're all a little weird. And I'm like, I know. I tell you that all the time. I'm so proud of you for remembering and reminding me.
Well, it's true. I mean, like, how lame would the world be if we weren't, though? Like, it'd be so boring. We'd all just be like, "Yes, I like that," and then we move on, and that's it. And like, nothing funny, nothing any. There's no pineapple on pizza arguments. There's no one to argue
Hmm.
about what the best toppings are on ice cream. I'm really hungry, and I just realized that. That's why I'm doing that. But yeah,
It's
everyone's a little weird, and we should be. It's the
Mhm.
spice of life.
Exactly.
I love that you guys are a little Marvel family. That's so cute. I love it so
Yeah,
much.
we try. We try.
So have has your kids got to watch any of the Marvel movies, or they're a little too much? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain scenes like I will not let them watch. But they've seen a lot, and my daughter's funny because she will point out that Bucky is a fictional character. If I'm like talking about Bucky, she'll be like, "Mom, Bucky's a fictional character. Like he's not real. Calm down." Like
She doesn't get it.
no, she gets it. She's like, Mom, like, I understand you're upset that Bucky was tortured by Hydra, but he's not real. It's okay. I'm like, I know, and I can't believe I've taught you this much.
But like it's just so sad, you know? Like anyone in that
I
position, I would feel really
know.
bad for. So, I
Right. Yes.
so speaking of Bucky, going back to your screenplay, Are there any like cameos or other characters that you threw into there? Or is it all Bucky?
There's definitely more.
Oh,
So yes. Um, there is a dream sequence, I will say that.
oh,
So after Bucky has a flashback, he goes to sleep, and this dream sequence happens, and it, if you know Bucky's character, you can probably imagine who Bucky might know, and he might have. It's Steve. It's Steve
yeah.
Rogers.
I think I assumed it was Steve, but I was like, she's just being so secretive. What if it's not?
I'm like, I don't know how secretive I should be, but
I
like,
totally
yeah,
did.
it's Steve. It's skinny Steve too.
Oh, that's even
Like,
better.
so I he's I really am excited about that specific scene, but yes. And there's also um another character that's name dropped that I will not say anything about, but fans of a certain uh, fans who ship a certain relationship will really enjoy the name drop, I think. But yes. And then Vasily Karpov is in it. He's one of the Hydra guys um that we've seen a lot in the movies,
Yeah.
but he's less exciting for some fans than like Steve.
He's he's very much there. He's a character that happened one time. I get it. It's well, I really hope Marvel sees this because I really want to see it. It sounds so good. As a lot of your stuff really does sound great. I think you have a real talent here because this you read a lot of fan fiction, you read a lot of ideas floating around the internet, which the internet is just an endless pool of ideas, and this is one I've never heard of. So, I think it sounds really cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm really passionate about it. So sometimes when I get passionate about things, it's a little hard to talk about them
Mhm.
because I want to say everything all at once.
Of course.
Here we go. Um, a lot of people see Bucky as a villain in Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
And in some ways, like he's the antagonist or whatever, but he's a victim. He was under Hydra's control, and I think after this screenplay, if it were to ever get made by Marvel, that would be very obvious. Um, and I think people would understand a little more about Bucky's character. Um, and I also wrote it to kind of shine a light on people who are trying to figure out who they are. Bucky, he's been told who he is. He's been told, hey, you're this agent, this is your job. Your job is to comply. And I think today there are a lot of people who just kind of float through life and go along with whatever other people say. And it's kind of deep. But um yeah, so I just wanted to write something that makes people think and, you know, makes people realize that it's good to kind of take a moment to be introspective and question, who am I really? Like, who am I? Not who are people telling me that I am?
Dang. That did get really deep. I like that.
Yeah, all of my stuff is usually really deep, except for Smoothie Crew, and Gwenpool won't be as deep because she's not as deep of a character. But yes, I think Bucky is very much an introspective character, and so for me, that was really important to kind of get into his head and like what's he thinking and what's he feeling throughout all of this. Yeah.
I think it sounds amazing. I like how deep it's going to get. I feel like that's something that gets shied away a lot now because it gets taken over by the action sequences or something. And it's like, sometimes I just want to know what the guy's thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I love it. I wish you the best of luck. This has been so much fun. Thank you for sharing all this with me. You didn't have to, and you chose to, and I really appreciate that.
Well, yeah, no problem. I'm just really excited to talk about it with people.
Yeah.
Because it's it's always good to meet another fan and somebody who knows as much about Marvel as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm a fan of Marvel, and then I'm like, cool, I wrote a Bucky Barnes screenplay, and they're like, who's Bucky? And now I really wanna do that. Who the heck is Bucky thing? But
Those fools! How dare they? Who is Bucky? My goodness gracious. So, where can our listeners find you, or if anyone else who wants to do an interview with you?
sure. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on YouTube. And yeah, I'm Amy Piero, and that's AMYPIERO. And then I use hashtag TWS Silent Night. And so if this is an idea that you like and you want to see it happen, just use that hashtag. Because yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get it to Marvel. I'm self-represented. I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager. So this is all just me, and I'm just one person. So if you want to see it happen, just use the hashtag, and then I'm doing my part, and maybe it'll get made. I don't know.
I love that. I love how much you're really doing all of it. So I do fully
I'm
expect to see
trying.
this made by Marvel at some point because it's just too good not to.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course. So again, thank you for joining me. You're welcome back anytime. This was so much fun to get to know you and get to know all of your creations. It was a great time.
Thank you. It's great getting to know you too.
Thanks. So that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you for listening to the new and improved Vigilante Vibes. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Amy or any future episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous night.